Hey guys, what's going on? So I just want to do a quick video on my 2018 gear list. Everything I'm going to show you is what I currently bring along with me on the trail. So let's just get started with the things that I carry and my clothing. So first off, my clothing. This is what I hike in almost all the time. If it's 50 degrees or lower, I wear the this Under Armour 2.0 long sleeve shirt. It's quarter zip, and this is the shirt I hike in. So I do have a lighter one for when the temperatures warm up, and I'll be wearing that when the temperatures get up above 50 degrees or so. My pants. These are like a cheap knockoff of the Zion stretch pants, but I love these pants. I've been using them now for about 2 years. They've been awesome. So just a basic, you know, I don't know what they're really made out of. They're like a spandex polyester blend. They're stretchy, and they beat up water pretty well. So I really like these pants. And then my shoes. For my shoes, I wear the Adidas Terrex. These are the ARX 2s, I believe is what it is. But I really love these. These are going on my second full year of use, and I've hiked all over in these. They're awesome, super comfortable. Had no problems with them, and they've really shown very little wear. I do use the Superfeet black insoles. They give me just a little bit of extra support on my feet, and they also help with the you know, with the pointy rocks and stuff as you're hiking. The Superfeet have kind of the harder polyurethane bottom, so they're pretty nice for that. But anyways, Adidas Terrex shoes are awesome. I love these. Next is my hiking poles. I used Paria Outdoors, Paria. I think that's how you say it, I'm not sure. Outdoor hiking poles. These are the carbon cork poles. They work really well. Again, I've had these for about 2 years as well, and again, absolutely no issues with them. I like them because they fold up and they break down really small, but you know, you just kind of snap them together, and then you pull it out and you just lock it in place. So they're super easy to use, super light, super comfortable. I like them. So those are my trekking poles that I use. Now let's get into my pack. First off, I use the Superior Wilderness Long Haul 50. I love this pack. I've had this now for about a year, and if you don't know much about Superior Wilderness, check them out. I'll leave a link in the description down below. But this was a custom-made pack for me. They made it the way I wanted it. It's lightweight, water, I shouldn't say waterproof, it's water resistant. But I've hiked in this several times in the rain all day and have had absolutely no issues at all with this pack. So again, I love this pack. It's super comfortable. Superior Wilderness Outdoors. Awesome stuff. So let's go through my pockets here. Start with the hip belt pockets. In my right side, all I keep in there is my headlamp. This is the Petzl, Tika, however you say it, I don't know. But I think it's 150 lumens. It does have the rechargeable core in it, which is nice. If you're out on trail, you don't have to worry about the extra batteries, all that kind of stuff. And 150 lumens is more than bright enough for walking out on the trail. Actually, I usually have it on the low setting, you know, when I'm just around camp and that kind of stuff. So it's my headlamp. Just started using this actually, and it's been really nice for me. Really like it. But that's all I keep in this hip belt pocket. The other hip belt pocket I keep open for my snacks, and I put like some chapstick and stuff like that in there. So that's what I use that one for. And then the side pocket over here. I bring 2 liters of water along with me. I use the Smart Water bottles. They're lightweight. I can reuse them all the time. I did switch them out with the this cap for the other than just a screw on top. So I do like this cap because you can actually back flush your filter on the trail with these caps. So that's kind of a nice mod. But yeah, I like to use the Smart Water bottles. I use them for 3 or 4 trips and then I just change them out. So that's what's in this pocket. In this tall side pocket over here, I actually had this pack in mind when we have our trips planned for out west, the kind of bigger trips, and a lot of times you can't really necessarily use your hammock, you know, outside or out west. So I had this taller pocket put in over here with the intent of putting a lightweight tent in here so I can carry it outside. But I have yet to purchase a lightweight tent, and I don't know if I will or not, because if I do have to go to the ground, I'll just use my sleep pad and pitch my tarp, most likely. But so in this one here, I keep my tarp. This is the Hammock Gear tarp sleeve. It's the mesh. And then this particular tarp is the OES cat cut tarp. It's made out of 15D sil poly. It's super light. This tarp only weighs I don't know, it's like 10.2 pounds is what this tarp weighs. So it's super light. It's a 12-foot tarp. I really like this tarp. I do kind of switch this tarp out with my other tarp once in a while. I use a UGQ tarp as well. Have the same Hammock Gear sleeve on it, but the UGQ is the sil poly wide body 11. So one of those 2 tarps always comes along with me on my trips. All right, so let's get into the front pocket. It's my battery pack. It's the Foos Power Pack. It's 10,000 milliwatts or whatever. So this is more than what I usually need on my trips. This will charge my phone usually 4 full times, but I typically charge my phone every night out on the trail after recording all day. I use my phone for recording. That's all I use. So I do kind of go through a lot of battery, but this is usually more than enough. And it's water resistant, shockproof, works really well. I like it. Next, let's see what's in here. My beanie. It's just a Columbia fleece beanie hat. Always comes along with me unless if it's 50 degrees or below. This comes with me. Oftentimes I sleep with it so my head doesn't get cold. Let's see here. Next we have, this is my ground sheet. And this is just a compactor bag that I basically cut open. And I use this for my ground sheet. It works awesome. I've had no trouble with it. And if I do, you know, rip it up or get some holes in it or whatever, I just switch it out with another one. But I like it because it compacts down to basically, you know, nothing, and it weighs nothing. So, you know, it's cheap. It's and it keeps all my stuff dry on the ground. So it works. Let's see here. Next I have, this is my ditty bag. In my ditty bag, I keep my toiletry kit and hand sanitizer. And then I have my stakes in here for my tarp and just a basic first aid kit. And I don't really carry much for my first aid kit. I got some Band-Aids. I do have some athletic tape and just some general medicine, you know, stuff for like headaches and if you get diarrhea. But I don't really carry much as far as first aid kit. I figure if I get hurt bad enough that I can't fix it with any of that stuff, it's probably pretty serious. So anyways, that's that. But this particular ditty bag is it's a ZPacks pouch. I forget which one it is. They have several different sizes, but it's waterproof. It's been nice. It's super light, and I can stick like I said, all my necessities that I need out on the trail in this bag. So that's what I bring with me in my ditty bag. Next, let's see here. This is my sit pad. This is the Dutch sit pad. It's really thin, really lightweight, but I like this one because it offers me just enough cushion where I can sit down and still get enough cushion, and you know, I can sit on it and I don't have to have a wet butt while I'm sitting out on the trail, and it folds up. It's real nice and compact. And I also like to use this in my hammock. Sometimes I'll shove this in my foot box and in my quilt so my feet don't get cold. So it's a pretty handy little thing to have out there. I don't know what you guys feel about sit pads. I know a lot of people use the Z seat, which the Z seat's pretty thick and it's very comfortable, but I just like how small this one breaks down and it fits in my pack easy. So Dutch sit pad. And next I have, this is just gloves for when it's cold. It's a face mask and gloves. I used, I think they're called the B-Force gloves. They're just cheap gloves I bought off of Amazon, but they're water resistant to a point. They actually got soaked on this last trip, but still perform fairly well. I can use them with my smartphone. They do operate that. I don't have to take them off, but they're just a lightweight glove. You know, keep the wind and stuff like that off your hand. And then, like I said, I have a face mask in here too that I'll wear if it's really cold. All right, let's get into my pack. And I'll just kind of take things out as I would have them packed. Okay, so first, this is my Black Diamond Ascent jacket. I love this thing. It's not down, synthetic, so it's a little bit heavier, but it's got like this stretchy type of material here on the sides, and it runs up the arms, so it's breathable, and I actually don't overheat when I'm hiking. So I can hike in this if the temperatures drop down. Very rarely do I put it on. I'll wear it around camp when I stop moving. But I absolutely love this jacket. It's been with me now for pretty much every one of my trips, and it's going to continue to come along with me. So, next is my rain jacket. This is the Columbia Omni Shell jacket. And this jacket, it's a little bit thicker and a little bit heavier than some of your lightweight options. But this thing is waterproof and it's basically bomb-proof. It's not going to tear. No water is going to get through. And it is actually fairly breathable for what it is. But I really like this jacket. And this is another item. I could probably switch it out for a lighter option. But I like the waterproof ability of this jacket. And if I am wearing it out on the trail, I don't have to worry about something snagging on it, tearing it. So again, the Columbia Omni Shield jacket, I really like this as well, and this is an item that's always going to come with me. All right, next. This is my Superior Wilderness food bag. They call it the lunchbox. And I believe it's made out of the ZPacks VX03 material. The bag itself weighs 3 ounces. It is waterproof, and I like it because you can open it from the top and you can just kind of dig through it through the top and you can see your food. And it fits in my pack. It's actually made to fit inside the Superior Wilderness pack, so it fits in there perfectly with no unused space. Obviously right now I don't have any food in it, but inside this bag I do put my water filter bag. This is the Sawyer bag. This is probably going to be updated here soon with a little bit more durable, more pliable bag. Not really a big fan of the Sawyer bags, but it does serve its purpose. So that's in there. I got the Sawyer Mini, And this is what I'm currently using as well, but I think I'm going to upgrade this to the Sawyer Squeeze just because the water flow rate in this is it's not very good. But this thing has never failed me. I've always had good drinking water, so I am a firm believer in the Sawyer product. I'm just going to upgrade to a little bit bigger filter and use the Squeeze. And then I also have, I keep my toothpaste and stuff like that in here. I do use a child toothbrush out on the trail because it's very small, fits in here a little bit bigger, a little bit better than a bigger toothbrush. So toothpaste, toothbrush, I keep picks in here to toothpicks and stuff like that. And then I keep breath strips in here as well. So that's what's in that bag. And then I have this in there. It's just my little water bottle that I cut down. So if the water flow is not good enough to get it into your bag, I scoop it out and I dump it in. That's what I use. Just cut the bottom of a plastic bottle off. Works great. So like I said, obviously my food's not in there right now, but this is a 12-liter bag. It'll hold plenty enough food for what I ever do. But this piece of gear is actually one of my favorite pieces of gear. I love how easy it is to just pull out and, you know, unzip it and get my food. All right, next is my spare clothes. And yes, I am using a Ziploc bag. This is a freezer bag, 1 gallon. This is what I use for a dry sack. These are super cheap, super light, and they work great. They work just as well as a high dollar Cuban stuff sack or whatever, or you know, a sil nylon sack, whatever it is you use. But this is what I use, and I've never had any issues. So what's in my bag? All I bring for spare clothes is I bring a base layer, which is this right here. This is just it's just a Walmart brand, Russell, I think is what it is. Yeah, Russell brand base layer. It's about the equivalent of an Under Armour 2.0. So this keeps me plenty warm. This is what I sleep in at night. I don't actually bring, like I said, I don't bring spare clothes. I just wear my hiking clothes, change into these at night, and then put my hiking clothes back on in the morning. So it's the Russell top. And then as far as my bottoms go, these are just the Realtree. These are lightweight. They're not really, these ones aren't insulated, but they keep me plenty warm. My legs don't really get too cold. So that's what I wear to bed, the bottoms and the top. For my extra socks, these are Dickie socks. They're a merino wool. They're kind of a thicker sock. This is what I sleep in when it's cold out. And if it's a little bit warmer out, I'll sleep in a lightweight wool sock. I always wear wool socks to hike in. You know, I don't ever wear cotton. It's always wool, but thicker socks at night typically if it's cold, and then I hike in a lightweight wool sock. And then as far as my underwear go, these are a mesh boxer. This is a Tesla Gears, I believe is the actual name of the company. And these are equivalent to like the Adidas Climacool or like the Ex Officio boxers. I really like these. I actually wear these every day. I wear them to work. I'm in the gym every day and I wear these to the gym. So, and I also wear them out hiking. They dry very quickly. They don't hold in like a lot of the, you know, the funk that you build up out on the trail. So I bring a pair of underwear I start hiking in, and then I bring a spare pair of underwear with me. And that's all I bring for my clothes. So, next, I have this is the ZPacks large rectangular Cuban or Dyneema, whatever you want to call it, dry stuff sack. This is awesome. I can fit my entire sleep system in here, and that's what I have in here. So let's go ahead and go through that. So first, I have my X pillow that I use, just an inflatable pillow. I have to have a pillow out on the trail or I'm just not comfortable. Next is my hammock. This is my preferred method to sleep in all the time. I am not a ground dweller. I don't like sleeping on the ground. So I use the hammock. This particular hammock is the Dream Hammock Darien. This is the 1.6 Robic, and it's 10 foot, 60 inches wide, and then I use the Dyneema straps from Dutch with cinch buckles. So that's my hammock. Now this is my sleep pad. Yes, I said sleep pad and a hammock. I don't use it under quilt anymore. I use the sleep pad because it is more versatile than the under quilt. If you ever go out and you just can't, you can't find good trees to hang from, or that, like I said, we do some trips out west, and sometimes you're not going to find a spot to hang a hammock, and there may not even be any trees. So I elected to go with the Thermarest. This is the Thermarest X-Therm, and I absolutely love this thing. This is probably one of my favorite pieces of gear. Again, so I put it in my hammock, and I've slept in my hammock down into the low 30s, even into the 20s, and have never ever had a problem with this sleep pad. I always stay warm, and it's a nice pad if you do have to go to the ground, because it's fairly thick, and I can sleep comfortably on the ground, but I still prefer the hammock. So the Thermarest X-Therm. This is the large. Nice piece of gear. All right, and the last thing in this bag is my quilt. And this is the Eno 35-degree top quilt. It's down. It's 750 power down. It's not the most lightweight quilt, but I bought this quilt when I first started, and I bought the Eno top 35-degree top quilt and the under quilt. And like I said, I no longer use an under quilt. I use the sleep pad, but I've been using this quilt basically for about the last 3 years since I started backpacking, and it's never failed me. It's been this piece of gear has actually been great for me. I've taken this down into the low 30s several times, and I've never really gotten cold. There's been a few times where I had to put my jacket on when it gets really cold, but this quilt's actually been really good for me. So this is the Eno 35-degree down top quilt. Now this quilt, I actually do have a new quilt ordered, so this is going to be replaced with a new lighter quilt here soon, but I'm not going to tell you guys what that is. I'll do a separate video on that when that comes in, and I'll kind of do like a mail call video or something, I don't know. But I will test it out before I do any kind of review of it or anything like that. So that's that. That is everything that's in my pack. That's all I take with me on a backpacking trip, no matter if it's a weekend trip or if it's a 7-day trip. The bigger trips, like when we go out west, are typically on 5 days, 7 days, whatever. And that's all I bring with me on every trip. I'm comfortable with everything I bring. I'm kind of a minimalist kind of guy. If you notice, I do not have a cook system. It's because I don't cook out on the trail. I go no cook all the time. I don't bring a pot or anything. I don't need any of that crap with me. I don't like to cook on the trail. I just want to be able to grab something and eat it, and it works really well for me. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Hope maybe this helped you guys out with some gear questions, or what you may need to take with you on the trail, or whatever it may be. I don't know. This is what I bring. It's, like I said, I'm a minimalist, but I'm comfortable with it. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys.